had no idea they had Bitcoin in the balance sheet to begin with. But the reason for this sale, Joey, this is fucked up. So corporatization of Bitcoin and Bitcoin treasury companies. Let's talk about them.
Yeah.
Looks like they're starting to buckle. Some of them are starting to sell some Bitcoin. Paper summer is long gone and we're in the dead of winter. Satsuma, and it's a UK-based firm and they're publicly traded. And they announced they sold 579 Bitcoin. I had no idea they had Bitcoin in the balance sheet to begin with. But the reason for this sale, Joey, this is fucked up. They did this because they didn't plan for Bitcoin to have a bit of a hit. And it has since summer, right? And they needed to pay off a fucking loan.
Yeah.
It's due December 31. So they had to raise cash and they had to raise enough to pay 78 million pounds for this loan. That's why they're selling the Bitcoin. It's 120 Bitcoin, which means they sold almost, not quite, half of the Bitcoin that they had before. And one more round of this type of sale, they'll be known as a former Bitcoin treasury company. And so this comes up, we had 970 sold by SQNS. Naka was sold 367. And there's, a few of them that it's getting some choppy waters for them. And they got to deal with some loans and some outstanding payments they got to do. And what are they going to do? Is sell the Bitcoin at a loss because they still have to take their private jets here and there.
We've talked about this before, and actually I was trading voice notes with Mark a couple of weeks ago while I was in the car, and we were talking about exactly this, how debt, if you're going to try the MicroStrategy debt play, then you damn well better have the capital and the cash flow to do this. Structured debt is maybe the most important part of the MicroStrategy playbook. And these other companies are trying to do it. They're issuing debt and trying to do corporate notes or whatever, but it doesn't work because, as I said, I feel like I've said this a million times, but I'll say it again. The show has new listeners every week, so why not? You can't out MSTR. They can weather the storm more and more effectively than you can or will ever be able to, because they just have all the firepower. And if you think you can outdo them, I wish you the best of luck, but this is going to be